This is the second day in a row that we are referencing an old Universal monster movie in our Elias Pettersson talk. Yesterday, it was The Phantom of the Opera. I don't know, I was just kind of in the mood. I watched Phantom of the Opera yesterday, 10 out of 10 movie. That was a masterpiece. The 1925 version with Lon Chaney, by the way. But we're going from one masterpiece of cinematic horror to another, from The Phantom of the Opera to a few years later, because today we are diving into some more commentary on Elias Pettersson, some from Craig Button, from Donnie and Dolly 2 days ago, some from Harman Dale on the Canucks Conversation podcast, and an overall idea that has been tossed around about Pettersson's health status that's becoming seemingly very difficult for Canucks fans to shake off. This show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there and check out the first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel all in the process. Let's go out there and listen to Craig Button's commentary on Elias Pettersson from the Four Nations Face-Off. This video was posted 2 days ago. I mean, he was invisible, he was non-existent. It's a 1 minute and 28 second long clip of Rick Dollywall asking Craig Button about Pettersson. And really, Button just absolutely pops off. I gotta ask you, Craig, Elias Pettersson. No points in 3 games. He played 9 minutes last night. 2 shifts in the third period, 2 shots in the whole tournament. What's going on there, Craig? And Craig Button replies this. You know, Rick, I mean, last Saturday night, and then, I thought he really played the best game I've seen him play in a long time. I thought he was engaged, he played really good, he was a factor in the game, and I think he's referring to the Toronto game where Pettersson was very, very good against the Maple Leafs. He had an assist and he shut down the play. He was super into it. That was probably the best game we had seen Pettersson play in a long time. Craig Button is agreeing here. And then, playing for his former coach, Sam Hallam, you thought this was a chance. I mean, he was invisible. He was non-existent. And the biggest thing for me with Elias, he is not engaged. He's not competing. He's not competing on the puck. He's not competing for pucks. He's not using his skating to back off defenders. It looks like everything that Elias is doing now is avoidant. Avoidance of contact, avoidance of attacking, avoidant threat. And listen, I'm not saying the bottom line is, it's not good enough. I mean, the coach says you're not good enough. I'm not playing you. You're trying to find a way just to play and to get into games, and you're pushed right out of the lineup. Keep in mind, too, they were short forwards. And it's real simple. It's real simple. He got exactly what he had earned. And I think it's really concerning for the Vancouver Canucks because his no-move clause kicks in on July 1st, and after that, he's got all the control. I think this is a massive concern for the Vancouver Canucks because it's 100 games now. And that's why I wanted to do the entire Invisible Man tagline, because Craig Button setting it all up right there, that was a slam dunk. Plus, it was fun to go out there and make an invisible Elias Pettersson thumbnail. But Craig Button does not hold back on his criticisms for Elias Pettersson on this Four Nations tournament. And it's a pretty fair criticism, too. Where the hell was that Elias Pettersson that we had seen against Toronto? He was so effective in that final game for the Vancouver Canucks before the break. And then he totally just forgets how to do anything in the games that follow for Team Sweden. Now, I wanted to go out there and read an article from Danielle Lusant from HockeyLatest.com earlier today that goes out there and gives more commentary on Pettersson from Harman Dale on the Canucks Conversation podcast. Take a look at this article, it'll be linked in the description. Harman said that Pettersson looked slow. There's nothing dynamic about the way he's playing, which is the same we've seen from him in Vancouver. Even when you go back to the flashes he's shown when he's played well, let's say the Toronto game right before the break, he had a gorgeous assist to Filip Hronek, but those plays have been at a standstill. Even some of his early point games, when he racks them up, it's been from stationary positions where he's leveraging his IQ and vision to execute those plays rather than moving his feet. Some fans have also attributed Pettersson's slump to Rick Tocchet's system, but Harman debunked that talk with his subpar performance within Sweden's system. Another important takeaway is, I don't want to hear people blame Rick Tocchet for Pettersson's struggles anymore. That one bothered me for a while. I can agree that overall Tocchet's style isn't necessarily creating a lot of offense, or there's a lot of possibility he's held the offense back, but with Pettersson specifically, there was a lot of talk about how he can create off the rush, and Tocchet's system is forcing him to play dump and chase hockey. But watching him, even if he was allowed to create all he wanted, he can't beat anybody up the ice carrying the puck. So how is he going to create off the rush or in transition? Seeing him play for Sweden in an environment away from Tocchet proves to me that coaching isn't the primary issue. And that Tocchet Pettersson thing has been talked about a lot over the past few weeks here too. I think Sapster on Twitter is the main guy that is like really pushing that narrative that Rick Tocchet's system is totally eliminating what Pettersson is capable of doing. It's shutting down his confidence, and as a result, he is not playing well. But even in the system with Sam Hallam, whom Pettersson played under during his best Sweden year with the Växjö Lakers in 2017-18, Sam Hallam said, hey, 9 minutes, that's all you're going to get in this game. You're not proving that you deserve more. So, back to Craig Button's point, that's exactly what he got. That's what he deserved. And now we're having even more conversations about injuries. This was posted by Taj earlier yesterday. Why is Pettersson icing his knee at the Four Nations if he isn't injured? And this conversation has been boiling over the past few weeks too. Heck, even the past few months. Oh, Pettersson is not moving his feet because he's got knee tendonitis, which has slowed him down. Oh, he's got a wonky wrist. Oh, he can't shoot it as well as he had before. You just gotta wait until those things are fully recovered, and then he'll be back. But here's the thing. Patrick Allvin, Pettersson himself, everybody in this gosh darn organization is always saying that Petey is healthy, that he's totally fine, and that this is not a symptom of him being hurt. It's just him not finding his game. Even some of the replies to this tweet by Taj. Dan Riccio says, why is he playing at the Four Nations if he is injured? And then even more folks go out there and respond to this because a week off isn't going to fix it. And this organization would get more upset if he told the world his knee still hurts. I'm expecting him to deny any injury next time he's asked, as the team wasn't happy about his non-answer about it when asked at the Four Nations. And it's one of these big things too, like if he's been hurt this entire time, why has he been playing? If he has been shut down a few days here and there because of injury, why is that not taking precedence? Why is he still being allowed to play if his knee isn't fully up to snuff or whatever? We know that Pettersson has been hurt quite a bit over the past few weeks. It's been a pretty common theme with him, but I feel like that was a lot more of an earlier part of his career type of thing, with the bubble year and the shutdown season, and then earlier in the 21-22 days, he would miss a few games here and there, but he still had 100 points. Even last year, he had 82 games played. This year, he's already missed 6 games for the Vancouver Canucks. So, injuries maybe playing a part of this still? Who really knows? 2 years ago, he had a 100-plus point season. Okay, great. Was he hurt back then? I don't think so. He was getting a whole bunch of points. But now, if he is injured, then why is he playing? Like, there's no other explanation for why he has stopped being able to produce other than him being injured or him getting the yips or him not being confident enough or whatever. Something's got to give here. And Patrick Allvin speaking out about how the Vancouver Canucks are going to use all of the assets they have available to them to bring Pettersson back to the player that he can be. Like, what does that mean? Are you going to amp up the medical staff? Bring in a sports psychologist or something? Something's got to give here, man. Or Elias Pettersson is going to keep on being that gosh darn invisible man. Who knows what happens next? Does he derail an entire freight train and cause it to fall off of a cliff like the original guy did in the movie? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Elias Pettersson and this commentary about him, the injuries, the coaching, Sweden, etc. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.